If I could sum up this cursed episode of SmackDown, it would be this. 8 seconds. 8 seconds. People, that is shorter than a Goldberg match, Hornswoggle's ladder, or even Cena and Nikki's marriage. And almost as long as I last in bed. 7-second gang, where you at? By the time you finish looking at my forehead, the match is over. They told us Brock is wrestling on SmackDown. What were we honestly expecting? I guess respect to Brock for even bothering with the attire change. New era SmackDown, people. Sweet apple pie. Good song, by the way. Inviting us for a good time. Now we have songs about asses and money. Father and daughter duo welcomes us to SmackDown. SmackDown! People, this was the first ever SmackDown on Fox. The debut! And a lot of interesting stuff happened on this show. Let me tell you a secret. Don't tell anyone. The initial idea for this video was to pull up with that 2004 Triple H and bury the episode. For obvious reasons, of course. And also because I remember this is when WWE started to feel more corporate, more mainstream, more media-tailored product. You know what's weird though? It's nothing compared to what we have right now. I mean, this was the WrestleMania main event. So dare I say, my memory of this episode being that bad aged like milk. Lesnar's milk, straight from Daisy. Twice as nutritious, twice as much protein, and actually grows your bones. If I drank Daisy's milk, I would not be 5'8" right now.
Say something stupid.
Big episode of SmackDown opens big with Becky Lynch. SmackDown is her show. This is 2019, you know who's coming. Obviously it's King Corbin. He claims it's Corbin's kingdom. You know what, people, anyway, I'm glad the King of the Ring gimmick is gone. You don't need to wear the crown. You know, I always switch my opinion on this, but this is goofy as hell. Of course, The Rock comes out. Finally! We have the man and the people's champion. You look like a broke-ass Burger King. A 35-year-old virgin at Comic-Con. Okay, I know it's goofy, The Rock always does this, but he was absolutely hilarious. He started a brand new chant that unfortunately didn't pick up. Super tough dude. And everybody starts chanting STD.
STD!
For a PG product, that was pretty good. That was pretty good, I appreciate that.
I think that's gonna stick with you for life.
They absolutely buried King Corbin. Becky attacks him, Rock drops the people's elbow, and Becky finishes him off. Didn't come out the way I wanted it to, with wrestling moves. Like, the STD talk, that's over. We're not talking about that anymore. Well, that would have been a pretty big burial, but they actually did the entire beating extravaganza in this one. You know, people, I remember really popping for The Rock's return. Sure, he then started doing the same thing over and over and over again, but this was absolutely hilarious. I don't think it did Corbin any wonders, though. Like, people didn't take him seriously in the first place. Dog food. And then you have The Rock just basically destroying him and saying he looks stupid with that crown, which was supposed to be taken seriously.
You're no longer the Great One.
Oh, and he's right about that. I took that back in 2015. This led to a tag team match. My Marca meter is exploding. It's rising. Can't stop me now. And Bayley when she was still happy. I'm gonna repeat myself, even back in 2019, music was good. I like that, and I hate WWE right now. The 4 horsewomen thrown into a tag team match to show off the women's division. Maybe nostalgia is fooling me, people, but they all have so much aura in this. Becky and Charlotte win after Charlotte makes Bayley tap out to the figure 8, and the entire episode was basically to show off the roster. I mentioned nostalgia, right? Hear me out, people. We're old. Some of us probably can't even hold our piss anymore. Weird flex, I can. I'm a father of a soon-to-be 5-year-old. When this episode aired, I was a fat 20-year-old boy. I'm 26 now. And fat. This realization made me go like, oh, so this wasn't a recent episode of SmackDown, it happened 6 years ago. I can make a video about it. New Day backstage are really excited. I can only assume Kofi was not told about the result of the match, or at least was not told about the amount of seconds he's going to get with Brock Lesnar. If my calculations are right, that's about 5 nipple squeezes from Brock Lesnar to Daisy. Baby! It's Tyson Fury. We'll get into it. Foley and Angle. We got a lot of big stars on this show. We jump into Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Champion versus champion. What's not to like? Honestly, I missed this version of Sami Zayn. It's a very hot take. I was the only one who actually enjoyed this version of Sami. Just all these conspiracies. He was absolutely hilarious, and this is a very hot take. He might even be better as a heel. Tremendous babyface, born to be a babyface. Mick Foley vibes. But man, this version of Sammy, the Bloodline Sammy, can't help but love it. We see Bray Wyatt, miss him so much. He introduces everyone to his special friends.
See you in hell!
Spooky, spooky, spooky stuff, people. This was great. This was literally the beginning of The Fiend, right? We see Flair, Hogan, and Khan. Back then, a lot of people probably didn't even know who this guy is. This was probably one of the last times Shinsuke Nakamura had any aura in the WWE. Seemed like this is going to be a very fun match, but then the lights go out. The Fiend attacks Seth Rollins. Absolutely love what they did with the lighting. So this was absolutely great. This was peak Fiend. Obviously, we know Goldberg got thirsty, but people, this was before a classic, a Hell in a Cell match between Seth Rollins and The Fiend. Dare I say, the greatest Hell in a Cell match of all time. If for whatever reason you didn't watch this match, go and watch it. You will be absolutely thrilled, amazed, chugging and nutting. Ladder match on SmackDown. Loser is terminated from the WWE. Angry Owens, best in the world Shane McMahon. This was a short and sweet match. Shane actually took a few nasty bumps. Much respect for Shane McMahon. Pretty fun considering this happened on TV and not a premium live event. The result of the match, I feel like, felt pretty obvious. Obviously, the writing off Shane McMahon off television, but still, I enjoyed it for what it was. Owens with a crazy frog splash. Shane McMahon with an extreme coast-to-coast powerbomb on a ladder. Owens wins the match. He's staying in the WWE, tells Shane he's fired, and gives him a stunner. So yes, this was basically WWE's way to write Shane McMahon off television. Obviously, looking back, I'm like, okay, this was pretty good. This was pretty fun. Shane McMahon is so entertaining to watch because he's not even like a wrestler. He's just so different, right? But it's looking back. I remember Shane McMahon's character was so bad at that point. When he returned to WWE in 2015, he was entertaining, he was likable, then he turned heel, and everything he did felt the same. And every time we saw him on television, it was just the worst shit you could ever imagine. Remember this cursed picture I talked about? Yeah, something like that. Heyman cuts a short promo backstage to remind everyone Brock Lesnar is the most dominant force in WWE, and Brock is going to bring legitimacy back to SmackDown on Fox. He says it's not a prediction.
It's a spoiler!
It was. Like, he literally told us. Like, they actually told... Why were we shocked? He literally told us, yes, that's exactly what's gonna happen. And it did.
It's a spoiler!
8-man tag team match. Seems like a pretty big match, with so many great names involved. Braun, Heavy Machinery, and The Miz versus... And this is a star-packed team, people. AJ, Orton, Bobby, Ziggler. Some of my all-time faves are in this match. But this was basically WWE telling Fox and the new audience, look at our roster. Match wasn't anything special, but the babyface team, man, come on. We got that Fury involvement, and of course Ziggler eats the pin. Oh my god, people, are you not entertained? Why are you not entertained? How could you not be when Fury wants Braun Strowman? Oh my god. I hated it. Like I've said, this episode told us WWE is moving to a new direction, trying to involve as many celebrities as possible, but at least back then it made some sense. It wasn't Travis Scott, a rapper who's trying to be in the main event of WrestleMania. They were legitimate fighters. Tyson Fury, Cain Velasquez. At least we can believe it, right? Oh, and the match we got in Saudi absolutely sucked, by the way. And during the show, WWE booked 2 of these. Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan. Back when Roman was still the big dog. We got Daniel Bryan on commentary. Now that's funny. Lumberjack surrounding the ring. I assume Bryan was turning babyface at that point. Ken Roman will face Rowan and Harper at a pay-per-view. At one point, all the Lumberjacks started fighting each other. Harper comes out, dominates the ring until we got Bryan, Roman with the spear for the W, and they shook hands, basically confirming Daniel Bryan's face turn. Daniel Bryan was no longer at the top of the world by that point, which was absolutely crazy in the first place that he actually came back to the WWE. That was absolutely nuts, and won the championship, turned it into a cardboard. Man, I miss SmackDown Live. That was a great era. Had its ups, had its downs. That was a great era. But man, at that point, they still didn't figure it out with Roman Reigns. People didn't boo him anymore, but he was just kind of there.
Ass.
Okay, let's talk about that. Kofi Kingston winning the WWE Championship was one of the most emotional moments in WWE history. One of these wrestlers would definitely earn his way to the WWE title. Some would say a classic rise to the top. Now, looking back, the title reign wasn't really all that bad. Matches with Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, Randy Orton, which was definitely the best one, and of course Dolph Ziggler. It should have been who? It should
have been me.
So all things considered, the title reign wasn't all that bad. 180 days as champion. That is pretty impressive, even by today's standards. Like right now we have so many long title reigns. That was pretty good. Which I guess why it hurts even more. How do I put this? It's like building a perfect sandcastle. You know, craftsmanship. You build. Oh my god, it looks so great. How can I do that with my own hands, people? Oh my god. And then some fat ass kid, Brock Lesnar, bully, smash, Brock smash. Wasn't subtle. He just destroyed my castle. Brock smash. Oh, come on.
Brock hates castles.
I guess that's how it felt. A very, very unfortunate ending to a championship title reign. One of these, yeah, we changed our plans. Forget about that shit. We're moving with Brock now. As if they expected such a rise of the WWE. Like, Fox on WWE is going to bring millions of new fans. Forget about Kofi, we need the big star Brock Lesnar. Look, I get it. Brock winning the championship against Kofi, it makes sense. It probably should have happened in the first place. But the match should have lasted longer than this sentence. Currently, right now. I remember thinking, that's odd. The show is about to end. Is SmackDown on Fox longer, perhaps? Man, they barely focused on Kofi. Like, the camera was almost always on Brock, even during Kofi's moments. The match starts. Not expecting a classic, but that's gonna be fun. You know, that's gonna be fun. Brock Lesnar, big guy versus Kofi Kingston. Somewhat of a high flyer, you would say. Okay, here we go. Brock is wrestling on SmackDown. Kofi jumps on Lesnar's shoulders. F5. Brock Lesnar wins. Oh, no, don't. No. No, yeet. Mark Henry's face says it all. Goldberg's like, I did that too. Of course he did. And we have a new WWE champion, everybody. Brock Lesnar. This was heartbreaking, man. It's not what happened, it's the way it happened. But again, we were foolish. We were foolish little boys. We expected Brock Lesnar to wrestle on SmackDown. He ain't wrestling on SmackDown. Big Show or not. Rey Mysterio and Cain Velasquez come out. Nobody cares except for Brock. I know there's UFC history, but come on, we don't care about that stuff. So he attacks Brock and Brock dips. He's scared. I guess we're supposed to take it seriously. I hated it with passion, people. I was like, oh, so this is what WWE is going to be like. It wasn't, you know, for the most part. Like I've said, this match in fact did suck too, but who knows what would have happened. People, is that before AEW? Was that before AEW? Let me know. It's one of these moments that fans will always have in their worst of WWE lists. But did we get anything positive out of that? Cain Velasquez versus Brock Lesnar aside. Instant classic. Instant classic. Survivor Series vs. Rey was fun. Another squash match with Ricochet, and Brock Lesnar drops the title to Drew McIntyre. So at least there's that. Drew McIntyre takes the championship in front of nobody. Some of you are going to be like, well, rewatch WrestleMania 30. No. There's no people. There's no people, man. I can't do that. Can't do that. But let me know in the comments below, where were you in your life when this episode of SmackDown happened and Kofi Kingston lost the title in 8 seconds? Thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you so much for supporting the series. I'm seeing this comment floating around. Peak, great one. Rubs my ego, rubs my belly. I appreciate that. Watch more. All of these videos you like.